The following is considered one of the most beautiful theaters in the entire world. It just so happens to be one of the most haunted, which just so happens to be in Toronto. History of the world's only double-decker theater. Called the Elgin and Winter Garden, that's two theaters in one double-decker design. Started as a vaudeville stage in the early 1900s. Vaudeville was a theatrical event, a variety of shows mixed into one evening with many different talents and characters. The Legends of Elgin. This included many legends over the years. The theater hosted some of the greats, including married comedians George Burns and Gracie Allen, Sophie Tucker, Milton Berle, and famed ventriloquist act Edgar Bergen and Charlie McCarthy. The end. Then the moving picture was invented, theater became cinema, and by the 1920s vaudeville was dead. In 1928 the Winter Garden Theater was sealed up, not to be opened again for over 60 years. The neighborhood faded, turning into unofficial red light district. Then, like in New York City, a re-emergence. The area became known as Young Dundas, our version of Times Square. In 1981 the Ontario Heritage Trust purchased the theater. The Elgin converted for live shows and the Winter Garden opened for the first time in 60 years. Interesting fact, the building now stands as the only functional double-decker theater in the entire world. Samuel on the Ouija. Did you know renovations stir up ghosts? A disturbance in the energy of a building, so to speak. 4 volunteers helping with the 1980s renovations took advantage of this energy at night. They brought a Ouija board into the Elgin Theater. Normally the board never worked for them, but tonight it was electric. They touched the planchette and it took off, sliding around, answering question after question. What is your name? S-A-M-U-E-L, Samuel. When did you die? 1-9-1-8-1918. How did you die? There was a long pause before it slowly spelled, fell into the orchestra pit. The group tried not to laugh. In the moment, it would be too insensitive. But then simply asking, are there other ghosts in the Elgin? Quickly, Samuel spelled, yes, there are many. The group asked, can we talk to them? And the planchette went quickly to no, and the board stopped. They asked more questions, but the planchette refused the move. Samuel was gone. The lost seat. Also during renovations, the Winter Garden was opened after 60 years of nothing. You can only imagine what they found. Dust, damage, wear and tear. But worst of all, the seats were destroyed by time. The contractors started looking for deals, and then they found it at the Biograph Theater in Chicago, USA. Though they were selling their old seats. Purchased and shipped to Toronto, unpacked, the workers noted one seat was different color. All seats were red, and this one was a dark green. A mystery soon forgotten. All were beautifully reupholstered with green felt and wood trim, then installed in the Winter Garden, and that's when they found out why the one seat was different. Hint, it had to do with an infamous bank robber's end. Now, sorry to leave you guys on a cliffhanger, but for this one, I have to mention the Ghost Walks of Toronto. You can come out, stand in front of the Elgin and Winter Garden. It's worth the experience, and definitely one of the best historical stories I've ever heard in my life.